Mr. Pena, AB, Ebba, Rhonda, Kevin. Good morning. Getting the morning mastermind. Morning mastermind. Getting this together here. Getting a little sun emoji on this. Getting the stage started. We'll let everyone know. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Thursday, March 14th. We've got an exciting guest coming to join us today. It is a private money, hard money broker, and he is going to be educating us on the fundamentals of lending for anybody that's interested in taking some of the capital that they make from wholesaling and reinvesting it into doing projects like fix and flips or buy and holds. He's going to break down, the fundamentals behind getting qualified for a loan, what a good interest rate is, and pretty much answer any questions that you might have about um, securing private money, building connections, relationships, and how to work with them and their company. So I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be a great opportunity to learn from somebody who's actively doing this on a very large scale. And hopefully it adds some value to the people that join the call later today. I will drop that event in the side chat for everybody in here to go on ahead and click interested if you want to be pinged. It is tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to edit the event. How is everybody doing today? Fantastic, fantastic. We got a couple people here. Little sleepy, I see. Haven't quite woken up just yet. People popping in and out. Well, let's run it up. Let's talk about what's going on in your business. Let's talk about what obstacles you're facing. What are some things that you're grateful for? What are you thankful for this wonderful, thriving Thursday? Alan, there you go. Alan is excited to take the leap and onboard into Apex CRM tomorrow. Exciting. I saw that you are working on something with school. Awesome. Oh, he definitely heard him. He definitely heard him. Fire. Whoop, whoop. I am I'm listening to what you guys are saying, but this agent, man, he really sold himself to me like he was the number one top agent in this area, and I really did believe him. But the last time it was what last I don't know, last Thursday, he said that or last Monday he said he was going to show the house, and last minute canceled on me. And then now I'm reaching out to him in advance to make sure that that kind of BS does not happen again. And he's trying to cancel on me again. So I don't know, what's going on, if he's really, serious, or if these buyers are serious. I don't want to look bad in front of the seller. but this is not helping me at all. This is not making me look good. And it's not as simple as just find a new agent because I already signed paperwork to list the property with them. There's a whole process into doing that. How about we give him a call? How about we give him a call? Let's put him on blast. Who wants to put this guy on blast? I don't want to put him on blast in a bad way, but it's time to check your agent. I'll tell you this right now, guys. In terms of novations, you got to stay on top of these people. It's not like a set it and forget it kind of thing. You have to stay on top of the agents until this property closes. John said, check him, not aggressive, but assertive. We'll give him a phone call. He was a little wishy washy after I kind of checked him about the attorney in fact. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Uh-huh. I think it is because he works at that time. So this is a completely different buyer. He's definitely going to be out of there by closing. He'll definitely be. Okay, what time? What time is it in Cedar Rapids right now? Okay, what time is it in Cedar Rapids there? 10:45. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell him that we're not gonna show this house at 12:30, but this is not really like making me look good. Um, okay, and there's one you said for 1:30. They're not flexible to go any earlier, and they said. Okay, okay. Well, I'll go on ahead. I'll talk to the seller and kind of get an idea, see if Jonah's going to be home, if we can, get any more flexibility on their time. But sure. Oh, I will double check. I will double check to see. But if they really want to do 1:30, we got to make sure they're there because if we waste this guy's time, I'm gonna have to compensate him with some sort of. Okay. Okay. Well, let me give him a call and I'll give you a call right back. Appreciate it. Bye bye. So these are the types of fires, you got to put out on a daily basis. You just, the process of getting the deal sold. I'm going to give the seller a quick call and hopefully we can get something going. I try to check on every other day with text, but try to give the. Hey, Tom. Hey, this is John Johnson. How are you? Good, good. Are you at the property? Okay. Yeah, 12:30. Yeah. So I just wanted to check in with you. They're saying the agent that's supposed to be showing it is saying that there's something coming up with his client and he's not going to be able to go today. He wants to push it for tomorrow. But we got another request for somebody to go and take a look at it at 1:30. But I know that you told me 1, so I'm not sure if maybe Jonah might be there to show it or if it's possible. Okay, you could be there at 1:30. All right. And then what is the status with Jonah? Because we have been getting some requests to show it later in the day, but I know that you said that you'd be available from 8 to 1. I just don't know if it's possible. Okay. Okay. So in that case, we might try to book some people to go and take a look at it then around like 6 p.m. if that's okay. Because we have gotten some requests at that time frame. Uh, okay. Okay. For sure. And if you'd like, I could reach out to Jonah and see what his schedule is like to try to coordinate with him if you'd prefer. But I will let you know here very soon if they do confirm then for 1:30. I didn't want to give them the green light without your permission to see if you would actually be able to be there. Okay, fantastic, Tom. I appreciate it. I'll go on ahead and let them know, and I'll confirm with you here soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. So I try to stay on top of the agents with like text messages, just following up, reaching out, you know, just being on top of it. 1:30. Okay. But it's very important, to stay on top of these agents because if you don't give them the direction, if you don't, stay on top and make sure they're selling the deal, people are just, people are people, they get distracted, things pop up, you got to stay on top of people. You're contracting this agent to essentially be your employee. They're supposed to be working for you, but if you want them to be the employee, you've got to be the boss. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on top of these people. You got to make sure that they're doing what you need them to do, and ultimately you're responsible to get the deal across the finish line. Don't ever put your um, potential earnings, in the hands of anybody else. I've learned that lesson the hard way. I'd much rather have control over the entire process, right? And I know there are some things I can't control because I'm not the agent listing the property, but I can control, how often I check up on them, see if is there any new developments, have anybody reached out. Those are all the things that I'm in control of, and those are the things that I try to follow up on. So hopefully that was good for people to see, just how a normal fire would actually pop up and then how we actually handle that situation. But that's what I'm on. That's what I'm going through right now. The realistic side of real estate. That's just one deal. I got another one here in Houston that I need moved. I got a lot of time on it, but I haven't gotten any offers just yet. I'm looking for some people to at least shoot me a low ball offer or something so I can go back to the seller. I mean, I told the guy, I said, look, man, I won't negotiate with you. I tried to get him at a low enough price that I thought would actually work. But I mean, if we need a lower man, I'm going to tell him, look, it's either going to work or it's not. I'm willing to walk. And that's that. Okay, so they confirmed. I'm going to go ahead and text the seller that they did confirm. And yep, that's how we roll. Eba asks if I'm mainly doing novations. Novations, novations. I want to lock. Nah, it's so true though. Like actually, it's not fun. Like wholesaling is not cool. It's very cool. Yeah, Dante doesn't like you wholesaling, but it's cool if you already have buyers or if you know people and you already have a specific criteria that you're going out and marketing for. That's cool, but it's really helpful to have resources like Investor Lift, to actually post your deals if they're not going to be on the MLS, but to have access to, a large buyer pool is super important if you want to wholesale off market properties. And that's also, one of the reasons why REI Rev is such a great resource is because, you just have access to so many different people in here, which already have established buyer pools and buyer lists that you can take advantage of. And I think it would be cool, for us to try to set something up to put people in touch with more buyers. But in my opinion, if you don't have Investor Lift, it's probably, I mean, you could of course still reach out to the comp sales in the area and see, what those investors are looking for. But Investor Lift does give you an edge for marketing off market properties. Though I strongly, strongly suggest that you consider novating all of your properties. Swissvizzle asks how much is Investor Lift. It depends on the price point. There are a couple different things they have. There's a $5,000 thing, but that does not come with any of the buyers. That's simply the software. You have to upload your own buyers list. But to actually get access to all of their buyers, it's a $30,000 fee, and you have to pay that up front. Oh, it's gone up. I will agree. I think that the MLS is obviously the best option to dispo the deal, but it does depend on the deal. Like, for instance, this Houston deal, right? I want to list it, but if I were to list it, I would be making nothing really on the deal. Whereas if I were to sell it off market direct to buyer, and I wouldn't have to come out of pocket for the commission for the agent, I would make, a significant amount more. So it really does depend on the deal. And, there is a reason why Investor Lift does exist, and it actually can be a resource for you. But MLS is going to be the best to get the most exposure to buyers. Yeah, I definitely agree. I've done multiple direct to buyer deals, just cash transactions, assignments, and I've also done multiple novations on, land, single family stuff, you name it. I do like the MLS, but it really does depend on the deal, and especially when you're getting into novations and you set the expectation with the seller that they're going to receive a specific amount, and you really do have to come out of pocket to make repairs at closing. It can eat into your projected assignment pretty quickly. So just something to keep in mind when you're making your offers is to have always a minimum of at least $20,000 to be playing with, because that $20,000 can get cut up real fast. So I like to look at as is comps. I look at what has sold as is. If it's land, I look for land, similar land, and I'll find, price per acre. And then, I will take that and multiply it by the acres that I have to get an idea of what I think it would sell for on the market. And then, of course, with land, depending on the size of the lot, it's much easier to negotiate per acre. You can knock off a huge amount off the price just by, negotiating per acre. But for single family stuff, I also look at as is comps. I'm looking for stuff that's kind of beat up. For example, I can take a look. I'll show you guys what I'm up to with this this property here in da, 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 Houston on Royal Pine Drive, right? So I include all this information in the description so the buyers can see. I have two comps that are listed here. These both sold in less than 30 days, and they were on the market. One was for 130,000, which was significantly less square feet, and then this one was 148,000, which had less bedrooms and bathrooms and no ADUs in the back. I have mine listed for 155. If I can get 150 for it and not have to list it, that would be much more than if I were to list it and pay the 6% commission, right? So let's sure. Not really, man. That's something that I everybody tells me I really need to track, and I believe them. But the thing is with me, man, I'm not really because look, man, I got a friend, right? I got a friend who tracked all his KPIs, and this is so funny, man. I won't name any names, but this guy literally Excel spreadsheets, tracking the KPIs, reviewing the KPIs all the time, but he never closed any deals, right? I just I just do it. I just act, and I'm not really tracking the KPIs, but I'm getting results. And maybe if I had someone come into my business and look at what I'm doing and audit my shit, I might be able to have more, quote unquote, predictable returns. But what's working for me is just actually doing it. That's literally what's working for me is just actually doing it. And I know everybody's probably going to say that I need to really keep an eye on my KPIs. I don't think that that's a lie. I think that's very true, but I have not been keeping up with the KPIs as much, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It happens, especially with new Western guys. Be on the lookout for that company. They are not real buyers. They are people that will put your property under contract and then double close or assign them. They are not real buyers. I mean, is that New Western? Okay. Well, I personally have had a negative experience with New Western. Most of the people that I've talked to have also had negative experiences with New Western. I don't trust them. I feel like they snake people. They try to put people under contract, put them in a chokehold, waste their time, and then go direct to the seller. So if you want to work with a company like that, they did that with my friend multiple times, multiple different friends of mine. Yeah, but if you want to work with them, make sure you have a NCNDA signed or something like that, to prevent them from going direct to the seller. Um, but even then, you just want to be direct to the buyer. That's the point of it. Like you either want to JV with somebody who has a buyer or you want to be direct to the buyer. You don't want to JV with somebody who's going to JV with somebody else. You need to get a deal sold. You don't want to get a daisy chain started. Hmm. Hmm. So they take advantage of people that are just getting started in the market. I mean, that's not something that I would feel proud, to do. Anytime that I want to wholesale a deal, I want to really find a good deal, right? Because that's how we get repeat business, and that's also how we build a reputation, a positive reputation for ourselves, finding a good deal and then providing the value of giving that good opportunity to somebody, at a discount. And then, of course, if it's off market, they can avoid the bidding war of having to negotiate and try to get their margins cut into, right? Because that's how people start to respect you as a wholesaler, and you can build a good reputation for yourself and also become, a trustworthy individual. But if you're trying to just fill your pocket as the wholesaler, and then really shell off these terrible investment opportunities that are really not opportunities to investors, especially newer investors. Uh huh. I think it's possible to want to work with them if they're willing to put down non-refundable earnest. I'm unaware of what net worth is as well. I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, that's awesome to hear that they did perform for you. I personally just wouldn't recommend them or trust them myself. Um, but this is kind of how I market the properties that I get under contract. So InvestorLift has a bunch of buyers already on the platform, and you can decide, if you want to send them specifically to like VIP buyers. And this is going to send it out to people that have actually bought stuff off the platform. And then, I just kind of look for, surrounding markets in terms of counties, and then I'll just click, a couple of these counties here, and we'll see. I add this 200 here to get a little bit of a lower amount of buyers that are more vetted, and let's see if it loads. Okay, so it's about 1,907 people that are going to get this one, and from here, what I can do is send an email, and so it will literally just send out that email. And I also want to split test some stuff. So I had an emoji in the title of the subject line of the last one. And so it looks like the click through rate is pretty low. So I'm going to have to, I took the emoji out to see if maybe it was getting delivered to spam for that reason. But as of right now, the property only has like 30 views. It was put up just yesterday. But I have my name and my phone number at the top. don't waste price to sell quickly. Um, selling the property a little bit more, letting them know it's got two additional dwelling units vacant at closing. I have the comps there for investors to see, that I put in a little bit of work. And then I reiterate why I believe the property is worth 155. And I again, try to get them with the funnel call now to schedule a walkthrough. Right, I want to get them to walk the property. And I got my name and number there, so um, just kind of see what the deal looks like. They can go to the page. This is what it looks like. See a little REI Rev logo here. Soon, one day, maybe we'll have something cool like this to offer. Man, I just love this logo. But it would be cool to see, something custom, for people in the community to source deals to each other in some way. Um, I think that's probably what Investor Lift is lacking, is that aspect of community. It's more of like a tool, but that's what I'm doing to sell the deals on Investor Lift. Does anybody have any questions? Is anybody else working on stuff? I feel like, it's kind of a smaller number of us that are actively doing deals, but I want to see that number increase. There are 50 people on average that join us every single day, and I just want to see more of us, hopping up here and making a name for themselves, because we see the same people up on the stage, but really, guys, this is a community. We want to really create the opportunity for anybody to make a name for themselves here, and that really all starts with just having the courage to stand up and get up on the stage and talk. But don't just come up here to say nothing and nonsense. Like, come up here with actually something to say. Yeah, I'd love to hear about somebody that has maybe joined the community and met, somebody in here that put them onto some game, and now, they have been able to close a few deals or something like that. Because I'll tell you guys this, it's getting to the point where I feel like we need to get some new faces in here up on the stage. I want to see more people that are just, crushing it, to be more of an inspiration. I'm going to reach out to some people that have been on the podcast in the past, because I just think it's a good way to start the day, is just be in proximity with heavy hitters. I think that it would actually push the type of conversation forward, and we would be talking about some higher level stuff, and it might go over the heads of some people that are just getting in here. But for the people that have applied themselves, watched the tutorials, watched just the endless amount of information that we've been giving out the game for free. I think it would be great, to have some of these high level performers, just in proximity with each other. Good morning, Miss Mia. Fantastic. How are you? Matt's always on vacation. That's what it's all about, man. Thank you, Dante. Well, Miss Me, I just want to say my heart goes out to you. I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that with us. Um, but just know that you're in the right place. You are going to be successful, and you are taking the correct action to make it happen. So, any way that we're able to help get to this first deal and help you get this closed out and get you consistent lead flow. Just don't hesitate to lean on the community. That's right. That's right. Well, we're here, and I'm excited to see your story unfold. That's right. That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please consider inviting somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. This is the number one most valuable real estate community in existence. Send them that link, discord.gg/REIRev. Send them to reirev.com or and make sure to follow us on Instagram at REI Revolution. All right, everybody, let's go on ahead and kill the phones today. Take care.